Chapter 14. Coping skills, your new superpowers, because just white knuckle it is not a life plan. When I finally stopped using, I did not feel peaceful. I felt exposed. I felt like my skin did not fit right, and every nerve ending in my body had been sanded down to live wire. In active addiction, my coping skills were one step. Avoid the feeling. Sedate the feeling. Stress, use. Fear, use. Bored, use. Celebrate, use. My body got trained like a dog. Every emotional spike meant, go get the chemical. My nervous system did not care about my goals. It cared about relief. So when the substance disappeared, I still had all the same emotional triggers with none of the chemical buffer. Physical withdrawal ends long before rewiring does. Early recovery feels like this. You are sitting there sober with a full-sized nervous system and zero equipment. It is like someone handed you a live grenade and said, just do not pull the pin, and you are standing there thinking, okay, but what do I do with my hands? Most people are not afraid of sobriety. They are afraid of being alone with their own interior world. Emotional detox is just as violent as chemical detox. You are not just detoxing a drug. You are detoxing your old reactions, your old reflexes, your old shortcuts. Without coping skills, you have no exit route, no alternative pathway, no bridge between intensity and calm. That is why people relapse. Not because they wanted the high, but because they had nowhere else for the feeling to go. Coping skills are how you carve a new exit in your brain. They build trust with yourself. Every time you regulate instead of react, you prove you can be counted on. You are not learning coping skills because you are weak. You are learning coping skills because you are ending a chapter of emotional shortcuts. And honestly, coping skills are the actions that rewrite the next generation's nervous system map. Someone down the line will have less pain because you stayed calm today. That matters more than you think. Most coping skills look insignificant. But the power is not the activity. It is the interruption. You are not trying to get peaceful. You are trying to stop escalation. Escalation is what detonates a whole life in a 3-minute window. It is wild how my brain will say, we are uncomfortable. Want to burn our entire life down again? And a coping skill says, or we could drink water. It is insane that the choice is literally destruction or hydration. But those are the stakes. Recovery is not about thinking positive. Recovery is about what you do with your body and mind when the urge hits. This toolbox is not theory. It is survival equipment. They all work differently, but every single one is evidence-based and scientifically sound. They move you from reactivity to choice. Below are the skills that saved me. Future visualization. Future visualization is picturing yourself in the future sober, successful, maybe with a breed of dog that does not bite people. You imagine yourself moisturizing your elbows, lighting the newly released fall candle from Bath and Body Works, and buying memory foam house slippers. You see peace. You see stability. You see a version of you who is thriving so hard that people from your past have to squint just to recognize you. That is future visualization. You give your brain a movie to chase, so it stops replaying the horror film of your past. Halt. Halt is the simplest life-saving coping skill out there. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Those 4 conditions hijack your brain faster than any trigger ever could. You ever think you are having a spiritual crisis, and then realize you just have not eaten since Tuesday? You thought you were being haunted. Turns out you just needed a quarter-pounder with cheese. Hungry will have you ready to leave rehab, leave your marriage, leave Earth. Angry will have you ready to fight family members that are not even born yet, when really you are just dehydrated and petty. Lonely hits, and suddenly you are like, I think I might marry my Uber driver. He just listened. And tired will make you believe the universe abandoned you. Your ancestors abandoned you. And also your debit card keeps getting declined. Most, I need to leave rehab right now. Moments are solved with a sandwich and a nap. Check those first before you diagnose yourself as spiritually doomed. Goal setting. Goal setting gives direction. Without direction, your brain defaults to chaos. You need somewhere to go, or your body will wander back to where it used to be, like a Roomba that keeps hitting the same corner, convinced this time will be different. A brain without goals wakes up like, well, guess I will ruin my life a little bit and see what happens. A brain with goals stands up straighter, drinks water, and suddenly acts like it has a vision board and good credit. That is goal setting. You point your life in a direction, so you do not accidentally stroll back into your old chaos, like it is a clearance rack at TJ Maxx. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is learning to observe your thoughts instead of engaging them. You notice a meltdown brewing and you talk to your brain like, "Hey girl, I can see your points are valid but not right now. I am exhausted and I already took my bra off." It is not weakness. It is mastery. Mindfulness is sitting still watching your thoughts roll in like stray cats. You do not pet them. You do not feed them. You just say, that one is missing an ear. Stress management. Stress management is the preemptive strike. Relapse begins when stress accumulates unprocessed. Stress management is stopping your life from turning into a slow-motion car wreck. Relapse does not start with cravings. It starts with stress stacking up like old mail on your counter, and you keep walking past it thinking, that is not my problem, until suddenly it is your problem, and your electric bill is $800. Stress pretends it is no big deal. Then out of nowhere you are ready to throw your phone, quit your job, and cut your own bangs with kitchen scissors. Managing stress is not cute or spiritual. It is practical. It is survival. It is noticing you are one inconvenience away from an emotional jailbreak and doing something before you snap. Because if you do not manage your stress will manage you. Detachment. Not giving a shit is an underrated coping skill. Call it boundaries. Call it, I am not letting Diane and group talk to me like I am her stepson again. Detachment is when someone tries to drag you into chaos and you mentally clock out like, not today. It is when they start drama and you sip your water like it is witness protection. It is realizing you do not have to react or fix it, and you definitely do not have to go to jail, because Diane keeps pointing at you when she talks. It is that moment when someone tries to bait you into nonsense and you just stare at them with the same expression you use watching the microwave count down. Emotionless. Timeless. Spirit somewhere else. Full detachment mode activated. Call it peace. Call it maturity. Call it the only reason Diane still has all her teeth. Gratitude. Gratitude is not denial. It is recalibration. It is your brain saying, maybe not everything is garbage. Gratitude shifts the vibe from, I am doomed and the universe hates me and Diane is plotting on my downfall, to, all right, the coffee was decent today and my pants still fit. Gratitude drags your brain out of its dramatic soap opera and reminds it to look at what is still here, not just what hurts, tiny wins, big impact, reality with better lighting. Time management. Time management keeps your day from becoming one long open hallway full of relapse opportunities. Empty hours are danger zones. When you have nothing to do, that is when your brain gets ideas, not good ideas. Structure does not control you. Structure protects you. When you schedule your day, you are telling your addiction, sorry, I am booked. I do not have a single time slot available to destroy my future right now. If you do not give your time a job, your past will give it one, and your past does not care about your recovery. Exercise. Movement clears your mind, regulates your mood, and gives your brain actual energy. Exercise is trauma metabolism. When you move your body, you burn off adrenaline, cortisol, and all the stress chemicals buzzing around your bloodstream like psychotic bees. People think motivation causes movement. It does not. Movement causes motivation. If we waited to feel inspired, we would still be lying on the couch eating Takis and scrolling TikTok. One brisk walk and your brain says, is this what healthy people feel like? Do I buy a blender now? It is wild. The solution to feeling terrible is making your body feel terrible for 15 minutes with a side of shin splints so your brain can feel amazing. It does not make sense, but neither does anything else in life, so just go with it. Your trauma would love nothing more than to stay stored in your hamstrings forever. Do not let it. Play the tape through. Play the tape through makes you watch the real ending. The one you already know. The one you swore on your mama's recliner you would never repeat. Play the tape through ruins the vibe the way old Snapchat memories ruin your self-esteem. Absolutely not. That ending sucks. Always has. Always will. That is why you play the tape through. It kills the fantasy before the fantasy kills you. Enjoyable activities. Activities you enjoy are how you rewire pleasure. Joy is relapse prevention. Healthy dopamine matters. If your life has zero joy, your brain says, "For what reason am I staying sober? To stare at beige walls and pay bills?" Give your brain something to look forward to. A hobby, a trashy reality show, a treat like the rectangle pizza from middle school. Your brain needs that same level of anticipation to stay alive. If nothing in your life feels good, why would your brain choose to stay? You have to give it reasons. Tiny ones. Silly ones. Delusional in a charming way ones. That is healthy dopamine. You train your brain to enjoy safe things so it stops sprinting back to the dangerous ones. Thought challenging. This is when you tell your brain, "Hey man, that is a big accusation. You got proof?" When your brain goes, "Everyone hates you," you say, "Name 3. Your brain fires back, "Diane, big country, and that mean counselor." You say, "All right, facts, I will give you those 3. Now name 5. Suddenly the brain goes silent, because even your anxiety knows it was being dramatic. That is thought challenging. You make your brain show the receipts, and half the time it cannot finish the list. Radical acceptance. Radical acceptance is when you stop fighting reality and accept that your life is the Temu version of what you ordered on Amazon. You pictured yourself in a tailored blazer strutting into court like Olivia Pope. Temu delivered you a blazer sized for a slightly overweight 4-year-old, and instead of crying, you put your adult arms through those toddler armholes, say it is what it is, and march into the courthouse with your elbows sticking out like a confused chicken nugget. It is not glamorous. It is not what you wanted. But you are wearing it anyway. Grounding. 5 senses. Grounding resets the body from threat mode into presence mode. It is when you look around the room like you have been kidnapped and are memorizing details for your Dateline interview. Yes, officer, I remember everything. The clock said 12:01. The air smelled like great value coffee. My hand touched something wet. Do not ask questions. In the distance, I heard what I thought were baby monkeys crying. Turned out it was group therapy. Same energy. And there was a metallic taste in the air like I licked a handful of pennies. That is grounding. You are not calm. You are observant. You snap your brain out of panic by paying attention to the moment. You are ready for Lester Holt. Social contact. Preloading your lifelines is strategy. Sometimes you need to call someone whose mental health is stronger than yours. Call Angie. Angie will answer mid-Costco run, hear your whole emotional collapse, and still tell you which probiotic you need. She will say, "Okay, breathe. Not like that. You sound like you are in labor. Try again." She will talk you off the ledge and then say, "So anyway, I saw Ashley's 5th ex-husband at Dollar Tree buying reading glasses and a pregnancy test." Because distraction is therapy. Call Angie. She knows you're crazy and loves you anyway. Structured rest. Sleep is a legal drug. Every time you nap, you wake up like a newborn calf wondering where you are. You take a 47-minute nap and wake up thinking, is it morning? Did I miss work? Am I married? Why does my mouth taste like drywall? Structured rest is letting your brain reboot, so you stop acting like the villain in your own story and start acting like someone who has had a sandwich. You lay down. You go unconscious. You wake up spiritually refreshed and physically confused. Spirituality. Spirituality is not religion. It is connection to something bigger that gives pain meaning. Meaning is how the nervous system tolerates discomfort without escape. Even if all you can do is whisper, "Help me get through this," that is still a connection. That still counts. You do not need a burning bush or a chakra chart. Sometimes spirituality is sitting on the edge of your bed saying, "If anybody out there is on shift, please clock in. Your girl is struggling." It is not about perfection or rituals or pretending to be enlightened when you barely survived group therapy without flipping a table. It is about connection. A tiny human thread that reminds you that you are not doing this alone. Urge surfing. Urge surfing is riding your cravings like a mechanical bull at a county fair where the operator still remembers you kissed his girlfriend in 5th grade and wants you gone. It is holding on while the bull launches you like a Walmart lawn chair in a hurricane. You grip the handle and say, "You are not knocking me off, Jimmy John. Not today." Urges peak. They wobble. They get tired. They give up. You ride it out and breathe. The bull always stops bucking. Music regulation. Music will regulate you better than Lexapro. Billie Eilish is cheaper than your antidepressant copay. 0 deductible, 100% vibes. One song can change your personality. You put on Lizzo saying she is 100% that bitch, and suddenly you remember you are too. You block 50 people on Instagram, stand up straighter, and pay your car insurance on time. That is music regulation. Your brain says therapy, and the playlist says I got it. Deep breathing. Deep breathing is not fancy. It is inhaling like you are trying to figure out who microwaved fish in the staff lounge, then exhaling slow, like you are blowing into a breathalyzer, trying to convince the universe you are sober and also a good person. The exhale is the important part. When it is longer than the inhale, your vagus nerve hits the brakes on your panic the same way a mom slams her arm across your chest when she stops the car too fast. It looks stupid. It feels stupid. But it works. It gets your thinking brain back online so you stop treating everything like a 5-alarm emergency. Breathe in peace. Blow out chaos. And your nervous system leans back like, thank God. I thought we were about to run into traffic. There is no universal coping skill that works for everyone. Your job is to learn your nervous system's menu. What calms you down? What grounds you? What gets your thinking brain back online? People get sober because they learn how to tolerate the moment long enough to choose something else. The moment is everything. Coping skills are moment management tools. You do not need to solve your whole story. You just have to regulate this moment. Recovery is not about never getting overwhelmed again. It is about having actual tools, so when your nervous system tries to hijack you, you do not hand your life back to the thing that almost killed you. Coping skills are not the backup plan. They are the plan. Because one day you'll catch yourself feeling a feeling, and not destroying anything over it. And you'll pause like, wait, who am I? You are a person with options now, and that is the whole point.